Hi, I'm Bill Boggs. Welcome to the Corner Table, where we sit down with a celebrity at one of their favorite restaurants. Tonight, we're on Broadway. Our guest is starring in the final week of a successful run of a Pulitzer Prize-winning and Tony-nominated play. Joining me, the actor Rip Torn, who won an Emmy last year for his work as the acerbic producer on Gary Shandling's Larry Sanders Show.
Gracias, señoritas and caballeros! 2 more shows, and it's a week of fun in the sun.
You know, these language tapes are really paying off for you.
His restaurant pick is Joe Allen on Restaurant Row in the heart of the theater district. It's a clubby spot where patrons of Broadway shows often rub elbows with the stars of those shows late at night. Right now it's about 10:30 at night, and Rip Torn is going to come over here to eat immediately following the curtain of his play. So join us for a corner table with the man who has not one, not two, but 3 summer movies, the great actor Rip Torn. Rip Torn, welcome to the corner table.
Oh, great. I gotta get rid of it. Can't smoke this here.
Thank you for joining us. How about a drink before dinner?
Yeah, how about a tank mart, straight up?
Tank martini straight up? Okay.
Onion and olive.
Tank martini straight up. Onion and olive. I'll take, I know, Pinot Grigio for me.
Yeah.
Sit down.
Good to see you, Bill.
Good to see you. How are you feeling?
All right. Oh, pretty good.
Good health.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
All right.
The Larry Sanders Show has truly represented a wonderful opportunity for you in your career to show your comedic side.
Yeah, it sure has. Boy, this one's full. Let me just taper it off.
Right, let's go.
Good one, thank you.
While Rip Torn tapers off a little more of that martini, let's watch him in action on The Larry Sanders Show.
You know, Rip Taylor didn't have to throw so much confetti right on me.
Well, I don't think you did it on purpose. Most of it hit you when you tripped over the microphone cord. Remind me to send him some flowers at the hospital tomorrow.
Larry Sanders and I are lovers, and have been for 11 years.
What is that?
That's Kippadata.
Huh?
We had to get him in order to get Seinfeld.
Oh. Where's Seinfeld?
The bastard canceled an hour ago.
But Larry would always advise me. He'd say,
Even though Rip Torn won an Emmy, he says Gary Shandling makes it easy.
Well, that's easy. I'm so indebted to my boss, Gary Shandling. He's such a fun guy. I don't really have to act too hard to admire him.
Well, a couple of things on Larry Shandling. First is that, can you give us the secret eating habits of Gary Shandling?
Gary is well, for a while he had some secret sandwiches when he was on some kind of diet. He goes through different secret diets, and so he gets, that's the only time I ever saw him angry, when his food wasn't there all the time.
But, you know,
The film that changed Rip's life was the reincarnation comedy Defending Your Life.
What about your chicken? How you like it?
oh, delicious.
Yeah.
What are you eating?
Oh, you would like this.
What is it? What does it taste like?
You're curious, aren't you? Good. I like that about you. You want to try?
Yeah. Looks so weird.
Oh, my God. A little like heart, huh?
I'm wearing that jacket right now. It says Defending Your Life, because I knew getting on here, you knowing me as well as you do.
I do know you.
Yeah, I'd have to defend my life, and I'll drink to that again. Here we go.
Why did the movie Defending Your Life ultimately lead to working with Gary Shandling?
Albert and Gary used to jog together.
Yeah.
And Shandling was a great fan of that picture and of Albert Brooks, as we all are.
Yeah.
And that's the way I got the job. He asked me, he said, I guess you got a lot of comedy work out of Defending Your Life. He said it's one of my favorite films of all time. And I said, it's not a damn job. And he said, well, it got you this.
That's
all right.
As long as we're talking about that before we sit down, what do you like in a martini?
Well, I like an onion and an olive.
And this is a good martini?
Yes. That way I can still call it a martini instead of calling it a Gibson.
All right, that's good.
Next, we'll talk about Rip Torn's 3 hit summer movies and watch him mix steak tartare. Welcome back to our late night after theater dinner with Rip Torn at Joe Allen in New York.
Well, Rip, we somehow have managed actually to get a corner table at Joe Allen.
Yeah.
What do you like about the place?
Well, there are a lot of great restaurants in Broadway. Sardi's, of course, is legendary. But Joe Allen's, I've spent many, many years here when I was working, and now I am working a few blocks away, and they always treat everybody nice here, even tourists.
Even too. We're semi.
And I come in here with a bunch of my family coming up from Texas and all over the world, and they always find a place. And they even found a place for you and me.
That's right.
And our order?
James, I'll have the great steak tartare.
Steak tartare, meatloaf. I can't go wrong. In fact, actually, I've heard the meatloaf as well as the black bean soup is special. Yeah,
That's good.
Rip Torn's long and versatile career has included nearly 50 major films.
Honey, why don't you go out to the kitchen and bring us some of those fancy little hors d'oeuvres?
An Oscar nomination,
If them hogs ever come back here bothering you, them's your hogs.
and this summer he's co-starring in Trial and Error, Men in Black, and he's the voice of Zeus in Disney's Hercules.
You're doing great, son. You're doing your old man proud.
What was it like being the voice of Zeus in Hercules? What kind of job is that?
Well, you know what it is to do those jobs. You do it over and over and over and over again, and finally you maybe get one that's right.
Was that essentially a difficult thing to essentially create a character? It was like being on a radio character, actually, right?
Yeah, but they also had cameras on me to get my expressions. So I'm going to be quite a larger guy than I am in life, you know.
Rip is in the comedy Trial and Error with Jeff Daniels, where Kramer, Michael Richards, pretends to be a lawyer defending Rip.
And if you had, would you have bought anything from him?
No.
No. Is that because he looks crazy?
No.
What, you're saying that he doesn't look crazy?
No.
Right! You can't say he doesn't look crazy, can you, Mr. Norman?
Michael Richards is a neighbor. Seinfeld is the soundstage right next to the Larry Sanders Show. So we see those guys all the time, and we visit back and forth.
The character that you're playing in Trial and Error is a real. I mean, for the benefit of people who haven't seen the movie, how is he bilking money out of the public?
Well, he does such sweet things like selling passports to heaven to people in old folks' home, and his excuse is it makes them happy.
Men in Black finds Rip directing Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones in a battle against aliens.
Well, we got a skimmer.
Landed alien out of zone. Who is it?
Reggie. He's not cleared to leave Manhattan, but he's way out of town right now, stuck on the New Jersey Turnpike. Why don't you take Junior here with you? This is a good one for him to warm up on. Go get him, Tiger.
I see you with Tommy Lee Jones. I mean, there's a similarity in the voice there. I can see you guys playing off each other.
He told me that he's studied every film I ever made, and he knows every line in every film I've ever made. And he once told me, he said, I guess you hated to see me come along, and I says, what do you mean? He says, I've taken all your parts. I said, actually, you were wonderful relief to me, took a terrible burden off my shoulders. He said, what's that? And I said, you are now the meanest man in Hollywood.
Yeah, you did have that bad boy reputation.
Oh, overblown. It was just the bad parts I played.
Not the bad boy inside.
No, not me, you know.
Inside the bad part.
Scout.
All right, time for dinner.
Meatloaf.
I'm ready. Excellent.
Steak
Thanks,
tartare.
James. Here we go.
Rip, steak tartare, it's like we have before and after food. So why steak tartare, Rip?
Oh, I don't know. I kind of like it for some reason. I guess it's just kind of incorrect food to eat right now, but this is
That steak tartare looks tempting, but before Rip mixes it, let's take a quick trip to the kitchen.
You have potatoes?
Chef Claire Chabot from Lille of France oversees an operation that serves about 300 dinners a night. Some of her creations have their own celebrity following. Al Pacino gives the meatloaf with mashed potatoes and gravy an Oscar. Jerry Lewis loves the sautéed calf's liver with mashed potatoes and spinach. And Rosie O'Donnell talks up the grilled chicken sandwich with Cajun mayonnaise and grilled onions. Rip Torn frequently orders steak tartare at Joe Allen, but many people are afraid of eating raw meat and raw eggs these days.
Well, you know, like any shellfish or sushi, people have reservation and you have to be careful. And but this is, you know, very popular. We move it along a lot, and we use very good quality beef, very fresh, and we ground it just before service, so that's important. And we have fresh eggs from a farm. It's always a really great dish. I eat it.
Okay, let's put it together.
This is just the finest beef and an organic egg that's vouched for, and some anchovies, capers, onions. I've got my Worcestershire, my mustard, and my great Tabasco.
Well, mix it up.
Okay, here we go.
Take a look at how you do it.
Go a little mash here. I can't with that egg, right? Okay. Then I'll put a little Tabasco on there. Ah, yeah.
This is a
God,
little
that's a little bit. And
Liam,
I'll do a little soup song of this. And maybe I'll spread a little of that Tabasco off this way. Here we go.
Now you got the chopped onions, parsley. How about the anchovies?
I'm going to cut them up in little bits like this.
For years, I've had this theory that no one eats anchovies. They just keep getting passed around from plate to plate to plate.
No, I love anchovies.
You're an anchovy eater.
Yeah. Right. Now, here, let's move that away from that sea of Tabasco. We'll put it in like this. Yeah,
I have to have
we go.
a taste of this.
Oh, now. Here's a little chives.
I know it's
a
not
little
polite
mixed chives there.
to eat off someone's plate.
What else is I shouldn't use? Here's something I shouldn't use. Give me some of that salt.
Salt?
And that pepper. Oh, boy.
Totally politically incorrect dinner.
Everything here.
At 11:15
Just like that cigar. I didn't smoke them till they became incorrect.
Well, see, I think I get a sense of why you had this bad boy image.
Oh, well,
No, it's cool, man. I think
here, now we're ready to, we'll fold it over like an omelet. Yeah, there we go. Now.
You know what, Rip? I was just thinking, you are actually like the people in the movie Defending Your Life, where they're in this situation, this holding pattern, and as you say, they can eat anything they want and it won't have an effect on them. You don't worry about it,
Well, let's see how this works on me.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
I know it's impolite, but may I have a taste, please?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I don't like to normally eat off someone else's.
That's the hot portion. Take some over here. Okay, that's good.
The hot portion?
Yeah.
Wow. Rip?
That'll put lead in, you know what?
That is really good.
Oh, no.
In addition to his passion for steak tartare and good martinis, Rip Torn has been fly fishing since age 11. What's the allure?
It's kind of like acting. You put something that, like a nymph, I like that word anyway, but you are imitating a form of life. So you're like a puppet master with the fly. And also it's sport that you make a cast of a certain kind. If there's bushes in the back, you make a roll cast where the line rolls out, and you'll put a cast where you want to make sure that your leader has got some curves in it, so when it goes into and there you study the currents. So it's a combination of sport, art, science, and if you're out there fighting a rushing river, it's like 8 hours of aerobics.
An athletic event.
Yes, it is. I caught a wonderful 4 nice trout and 2 browns and a couple of rainbows, and I fixed them kind of Mexican style. I cut them right through the back and opened them like a book, and I marinated these with ginger, garlic, and soy sauce for about a half an hour, and then I broiled them, and they were just gorgeous.
Do you like to actually cook as part of the fishing camping experience, or do you normally take the fish home and prepare them?
Well, I like the outdoors, but I also, as you saw, I like to belly up to the bar and have a martini and have feminine companionship. But there are a lot of women that are good fly fishermen now.
Coming up, Rip and Sharon Stone, plus dessert.
They cut your scene with Sharon Stone.
Oh, that was the cruelest cut of all.
Welcome back to the corner table at Joe Allen in Manhattan. Our guest, the carnivorous actor Rip Torn. A recent episode of The Larry Sanders Show found Rip having an affair with Angie Dickinson playing herself.
Oh, excuse me, Larry, I'm sorry. See you later.
It's all right.
I'm
It's
sorry.
okay.
I'll put my things away.
No, it's all right, buddy. I just want to have a proper couple of minutes with
All right.
Angie. We haven't seen each other for a while.
Again, you were just great.
Thank
and
you.
I wish.
Oh,
Let's go.
God.
Listen, let me
Let's
talk
go,
to you.
I want to talk to you. I want to
Yeah,
talk to
can
you
I
about
talk
some.
to you for some?
Yeah, I want to talk to you about some
please.
of the.
Yeah, thank you.
Some of the monologue
Forgive
stuff.
me. Please, forgive me.
He's just thanking her for doing the show.
How'd you like doing that kind of romantic, passionate angle with Angie?
Jesus, and think to be paid for that? She's a great person. I've known her for years, and she's just a wonderful human being, wonderful actress. We had so much fun together.
Well, what's interesting about it is that blend of truth and fiction, that you're on television as if it's a fictional situation talking about having an affair with Angie Dickinson. It's a brilliant idea. The concept really resonates so many different crazy situations, and it's extremely hip and sophisticated at the same time. What about some of the other great beauties you work with? And just quick thumbnail impressions. Sophia Loren.
A mysterious, beautiful legend, but just down to earth. I mean, she's all those things mixed together.
Did she ever make
I played her husband, Carlo Ponte. Her son was there, and he's a grown man now, but he'll probably remember that when I had the scene where I kissed his mom, he rushed right in there and says, "Stop!"
Did Sophia Loren?
He said, "Get away!"
He didn't want that, huh? It was like a Freudian cartoon.
Oh no, it was great. I loved him for it.
How about? Did Sophia Loren make you any meals when you were working with her?
No, we had some wonderful catered meals out there, but we had a lot of work to do.
All right, another classic beauty with whom you work. Just quick, whatever the first thought that comes in your mind. Ingrid Bergman.
She was such a sweet, wonderful person, and a lot of fun. I used to tell her jokes, and she didn't want to be treated like an icon. She was just a very down to earth. You find most people that are talented like that, they are not pretentious at all.
Now, also one of the great beauties and major sex symbols of the '90s was on the Larry Sanders Show, Sharon Stone. And you were the producer of that show. What was it like working with Sharon Stone? She had a little thing going there with Gary on the air.
Yes, I had a scene with her, and they cut it.
Oh.
And she could tell what a tragedy that was to me, so she came over and made a lot of pictures with me and showed my buddies up in Connecticut.
They cut your scene with Sharon Stone.
Oh, that was the cruelest cut of all.
Oh, I have to ask you this. So many people said, you got to ask Rip Torn, is his real name Rip Torn? Well, I know from research.
It's Elmore.
It's Elmore.
Okay,
Torn,
Elmore, it's time for dessert.
Like
Hot fudge pudding cake and watermelon sorbet with shortbread and glasses of wine.
That's good wine.
Sure is. Take us back to the dinner table in the Torn household when you were 12 years old. What was the typical, say, Tuesday night scene like? Describe the scene.
Well, my mother always would cook very lean meat and broil it, and she always had a fresh green salad and lots of vegetables. And my sister Patricia is in Fort Worth. Sometimes I would wash and sometimes she would dry, but
So
I think it was better dry.
The
So
kids
we
did
helped.
the dishes.
Yes, we did.
Let's go into the future. Suppose we come back here, God willing, to this table in 10 years and have a meal together, what would you like to be able to say about life at that point?
That we're both in excellent shape. Okay. And we can even have a dessert and a little wine.
I'll drink to that immediately. Now this, how about this? If you could be, theoretically, beamed up and beamed down anywhere in the world for dinner tomorrow night, where would you like to be having dinner? With whom would you like to be, and what would you like to be having?
Well, since I'm doing a show tomorrow night, I'll probably be coming here.
Well, I'd like to ask you, if you would, to look out and offer a final corner table toast to our viewers on the Television Food Network. What would you like to wish them tonight?
Long life, luck, happiness. Be tight with your family.